I'm flat-chested, my chest is as flat as an ironing board and I love it. If you look at this 3D visualizer, this is basically how my body looks.
Picture this. Millions of women, flat-chested, insecure, tired of being told their bodies weren't enough, found a corner of the internet that finally felt like home. A girl named Clara was talking directly to them about the shame, the bullying, the feeling of being invincible in a world obsessed with curves.
In this video, I will let you know the reasons why I am flat-chested, why some women have small boobs, and why it's completely normal to be that way.
She told them, your body is not a problem to be fixed. She told them, you are enough, exactly as you are. And they believed her. 8 million followers, hundreds of videos, years of content built on one powerful, intimate message. Then in March of 2025, she got breast implants, and the internet lost its mind. Today, we're not here to cancel her. We're not here to defend her either. Let's talk about Clara Dao.
Clara Dao built an entire career on loving her flat chest and then destroyed it the moment she paid to change the very thing her followers trusted her for. For years, she was the face of body positivity content, teaching millions of young women how to embrace their flat chests.
Clara Dao was born in Hanoi, Vietnam. Like a lot of young people from Southeast Asia, she eventually made her way to Canada, chasing education, opportunity, a new life. But university in Canada was not the fresh start she imagined. She was petite, flat-chested in a Western world that had very specific ideas about what a woman's body should look like.
In this highly requested video, I'm gonna talk about how to deal with body shaming, how to deal with body shamer.
She talked about being taunted, being made to feel like she was somehow less of a woman. Sounds familiar? Most of us have been there, staring at a body we wish looked different, consuming content that makes us feel worse, chasing some version of ourselves that doesn't exist. But here's where Clara's story takes a different turn. In February 2019, instead of continuing to chase that quote-unquote ideal body, she grabbed a camera and she started talking.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Clara, and on this channel, I talk about body positivity and self-love for small-chested girls.
Early videos were raw, personal, vulnerable in the way that only works when it's real. She wasn't performing confidence she didn't have. She was documenting a journey, figuring it out in public, bringing her audience along for the ride. And people responded, not in the slow, gradual way most creators grow, in the explosive, overnight way that happens when someone says the thing thousands of people have been desperately waiting to hear. Flat-chested women from Vietnam, from Canada, from Kenya, from Brazil, they all found her. The comments under her videos read like a collective exhale. I finally stopped hating myself. You made me cancel my surgery consultation. That last one? Hold on to that last one. We'll come back to it. Clara became more than a content creator. She became, for many of her followers, a lifeline. She was held up as a feminist voice. She was the girl who looked like them and loved herself anyway. And for 6 years, she showed up every day, creating content, reinforcing the message. That was the promise, that was the brand, that was the community she built. Now, let's talk about what was happening underneath. 6 years is a long time to do anything.
Are people unaware that a majority of movements are just cope? And don't get me wrong, I don't actually mean the majority of movements themselves are cope, or that what movements initially are founded for is cope. I'm more so referring to the people who end up co-opting and or representing said movements. They're coping. A large percentage of body positivity influencers are part of the body positivity movement because they don't like their bodies. They don't like the circumstances they are in. And therefore, they have to find a way to convince themselves that their bodies and the circumstances they are in are actually likable and good because there's nothing else they can do about it. That is why, after they've made money from promoting that body positivity, they change their bodies. They never liked them in the first place. They were championing the movement to cope. Now, to be clear, I have no issues with Clara, whom I'm stitching, nor do I have any commentary on the choices she makes for her own body, and unlike many, I am completely fine with plastic surgery. I'm simply stitching her and referencing her for this video because she is the 20,000th person I've seen this month surrounded by discourse because she's gotten some form of plastic surgery or has done something surgically to alter her body. Very interesting how this discourse never considers the influencers in question, who are constantly under scrutiny for how they look, as victims of the patriarchy or harsh beauty standard. Only sees them as villains, but I'll digress that point. A majority of the discourse I've seen around these actions different influencers have taken is, you were supposed to be my representation of the body positivity movement. What happened? They were coping, much like you were using them to cope. And again, I'm aware, and you should be aware, this is not everybody. Many people do champion different movements because they believe in what they were founded for and correctly propagate what they stand for. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with looking towards someone else to feel less alone. I just say all of this to say that it is incredibly important to remember to decide to love your body in any state or stage that it's in, of your own volition. It will always feel good and comforting and make that process easier to see someone you think is admirable who looks like you. But if you hinge your self-love and self-love journey to strangers on the internet, you are setting yourself up for failure.
Those 8 million people didn't just subscribe to a content format, they subscribed to a belief system. There's a concept in psychology called a parasocial relationship, and if you spend any time on social media, you already know what it is, even if you didn't know the name. So what exactly is a parasocial relationship?
Kind of that one-sided relationship that people form with like celebrities, content creators, because you see them so often on your TV or on your phone that you feel like you have a connection or relationship with that person, when in reality you don't know me at all. And people get so invested into these parasocial relationships that when that person acts in any way outside of your expectation of them that you've completely made up, and it's completely based on just the version of themselves that they choose to show you on camera, everyone's like, oh no, my whole world is crashing down. Never thinking about the fact that that person is a multifaceted being with just as many complex problems as you have. And you and the millions of other people that know their name really have no right to know the intricacies of what's going on in their life. Because in these parasocial relationships, the person that is on the camera, their only job is to entertain you with their life, their personality. Every inch of who they are exists only to entertain you. And that's draining.
When you watch someone talk about their insecurities every single day, when their voice is in your ears while you're getting dressed, when their confidence is what gets you through looking in the mirror, that's not a casual following, that's a bond. And Clara was aware of this. That's what makes the next part so complicated.
There are actually a lot of reasons why us flat-chested girlies feel so betrayed when Clara Dao did her boobs. But what makes it extremely icky is the fact that what she was doing with her platform before she got a boob job is a feminist statement, whether she wants to label it as such or not. In our world, a woman's body is not her own, especially her chest. Women's chest, women's breast are highly sexualized. It's an object of scrutiny. It is a body part that's a site for projection, judgment, and consumption. It's fetishized. It's even at times seen as a mark of womanhood. And to not have them is to be infantilized and desexualized. So when Clara Dao did her boobs, it may seem like a personal act, but the impact is cultural. Because that's the loop that patriarchy wants us to stuck in, that's a cultural regression, and we're witnessing it right now. And it's grief, but it's also devastation, because it shows us how powerful the system still is, how the male gaze and male validation, and that's the only reason why you do a boob job, because of male validation, of course, is still a center point of her life. And it is sad to see.
Here's something that barely made headlines in all the noise. Clara's family had been encouraging her to get breast implants since she was 17, since before the body positivity channel even existed. Let us sit for a second. What does it mean to build a movement around self-acceptance when the people closest to you never accepted your body to begin with? What does it mean to tell 8 million people that their flat chest is beautiful when quietly, privately, you are being told the opposite at home?
That's insane. What? I mean, maybe that's just the way parents are sometimes. I understand a lot of parents can sometimes be harsh on certain things, but if my daughter, for example, had a nose I didn't like and she made content about being proud about her nose, I would never tell her to change it. That's just cruel. I mean, maybe I'm not understanding the situation for its fullest, but that is something I did not know, and that is kind of sad, I'm gonna be honest.
I never listened, it never clicked with me. It was never something that I even considered. This time, of course, they've been telling me about the boob job again, and we were touring this very beautiful beachfront property. And I was like, you know what, if you get me this house, I'll do anything you want, I'll have the boob job. And it was just a joke, obviously, they did not get me the house. I am not that spoiled. I wish they got me the house though.
I honestly feel kind of bad now, because up till now, I seriously thought that when it came to the boob job, she chose to change it because she was kind of just lying in order to get clicks in the past. Because obviously when it comes to plastic surgery, if a woman wants to change her body, she should be able to change it however she wants. It's her body. But the fact that her parents have been pressuring her for years, for years and years, is And we don't even know, because obviously she doesn't say, like, how young she was when they first started saying this. Like, imagine if she was a teenager and they said this, and she says it never occurred till now. Like, that's kind of, like, I honestly feel kind of bad, which I've felt bad for Clara in other situations. Obviously, she said a lot of problematic things, but, like, this is genuinely something I did not know, and I feel really bad, honestly. Like, I feel like she shouldn't be getting as much hate as maybe a lot of people, including me, probably have been giving her for specifically this job. I can't really remember what my old videos said about this specifically, because I mainly focused on that one video, but the fact that her parents have been doing this is honestly just kind of sad and cruel.
Now that I got the boob job, they always wanted, right? But it's literally started as a joke like that. And I think that was like the first time that I opened that possibility of getting the boob job in my reality. For some reason, after a few days, like, that idea start to marinate, and I start to consider it for real. And like, the more I think about it, the more I start to like resonate with that idea, and the more I think that it's a good idea, and the more that I want to do it. And yeah.
We don't know exactly what was going on inside Clara's head. She hasn't gone into that level of detail, but the texture of this story just got a lot more complicated, didn't it? In February of 2025, Clara started thinking about getting implants. The following month, she was on a table in a clinic in Da Nang, Vietnam. A 2-hour procedure, almost $4,000, and went from a 32AA to a 32C. And then she told the internet. The reaction was immediate, and it was brutal. The same women who had once flooded her comments with gratitude were now flooded with grief and anger. Within weeks, she had lost 500,000 followers across her platforms. Clara knew this was coming, but knowing something is coming doesn't make it heartless. She also talked about something that I think gets overlooked in all of this. Before the surgery, the hate she received was mostly from men, telling her she looked like a man, telling her she was ugly, telling her she was a piece of wood. After the surgery, the hate came from women. You're a hypocrite. You're so fake. You lied to us. Different source, same pain. And here's what I want to do right now. I want you to forget the influencer for a second. Forget the 8 million followers. Forget the brand deals. Forget the parasocial contract. Just think about a 26-year-old woman, a woman who was bullied as a child for her body, whose own family told her she needed to change, who built an entire career trying to convince the world and maybe herself that she was enough. For 6 years, she woke up every day and performed self-acceptance, and somewhere in that performance, something shifted. She said, I got the surgery for fun.
I literally built my entire career and following around that. So why did I do it? Let me tell you the real reason why I did it. And it comes down to one word. Fun.
Now, a lot of people heard that and were furious. This woman built her following on our pain, and she did the surgery just for fun. But listen more carefully to what she's actually saying. She felt trapped by her own brand, by her own identity, by the very thing that made her famous. Now, I want to go back to that comment, the one I told you to hold on to. There are women out there who watch Clara's videos and made real permanent decisions about their bodies. Women who decided not to get surgery, not because they couldn't afford it, not because they were scared, because Clara convinced them they were enough. One of those women had been saving money for breast implants. Clara's videos changed her mind. She used that money instead to help her mother through an illness. When she found out Clara had gotten implants, she said she felt, quote, gutted, like the strength she had borrowed from Clara had been pulled out from under her. And this is where I need to be careful, because I don't think we should blame Clara for that woman's feelings, but I also don't think we should dismiss them. This is the reality of the influencer economy in 2026. When you monetize your identity, when your insecurity is your product, you enter into an unspoken agreement with your audience. They're not just watching a video, they're investing in a worldview. And when that worldview changes without warning, without conversation, without acknowledgement of the community it built, people feel more than disappointed. They feel abandoned, and abandonment hits different when what you are trusting was someone telling you that you didn't need to change.
If you are a plus size person who is tired of being insecure about their body, is done with diet culture, and just wants to learn how to love the body that they have right now, my biggest tip for you is to start following creators that have bodies that look like yours and fill your algorithm full of fat positive, body positive content. Stop following creators with bodies who you desperately wish that you could have, who push diet culture and weight loss, and start filling your feed with people who look like you. That has been a huge game changer for me. And by no means is this anti-healthy lifestyle. I believe everybody should live a healthy lifestyle, but you can live a healthy lifestyle and still be plus-sized. As a fat person who grew up a fat kid in the 90s, unrealistic body types, diet culture, and weight loss programs were shoved down my throat, and now I don't have to see it. Now all I see are big, beautiful bodies living their best damn lives, and I swear to you, it heals my inner child every single day. You are allowed to love the body that you have right now without changing it. And you should love that body.
Clara Dao is not the first and she won't be the last. The body positivity movement, as beautiful as its roots are, has always had a complicated relationship with authenticity. What started as a radical political movement for fat liberation, for disability visibility, for bodies that were actively discriminated against, got diluted. It became an aesthetic, a brand, a content niche. And when it became a product, it became subject to all the same pressures as every other product on the internet. Engagement, growth, reinvention. The algorithm does not reward consistency, it rewards novelty. And at some point, Clara wasn't novel anymore. She was just the flat-chested girl. Here's the uncomfortable truth about consuming influencers. We are always watching someone's curated performance of themselves. Even the most authentic creators are making choices about what to show and what to hide. That doesn't make them fake. It makes them human, but it does mean we should be careful about how much of ourselves we hand over to someone else's journey. Clara Dao is now moving to LA, and whether she rebuilds her following or disappears into irrelevance, we don't know yet. But here's what I keep thinking about. The women who found her in 2019, the ones who were crying in front of their mirrors, who hated what they saw, who felt invisible. They weren't wrong to find comfort in her words. They weren't weak for letting those words matter. They were just human. And Clara, she was just human too. Flawed, inconsistent, evolving, doing things that hurt people she never intended to hurt. Also, just human. The question this whole situation forces us to ask, and I want you to sit with it, is this. When we look to someone else to teach us how to love ourselves, are we solving the problem or just borrowing their answer? Because no influencer, no matter how good their content, no matter how genuine their message, can do the work of self-acceptance for you. They can open a door, but you have to be the one who walks through it. I'm not saying Clara Dao is a villain. I'm not saying she's a hero. I'm saying she's a mirror. And what we saw in her, what hurt us when she changed, might be worth examining.
What the hell?
If you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Creators' handles are in the description box below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.